So the first concept we're going to talk about is metrics. And per PM book definition, metrics defined as a quantitative property of a process or product. Depends on the different aspects we're looking at. And we can actually come up with three types of metrics, where the first one is the business related, which is mainly talking about the revenue and the potential profits and margin. Of course, we can using return on investment, the time duration, or the number of customer or the customer base. And if it's project related, then it'll be more details oriented, such as the schedule, budget, defect status, quality, and productivity. And that's one, if it's going to be at the executive as the level, where the top managers are more interested in knowing whether the project is aligned with the business objective within this corporation, and what is the general return on investment, how the schedule, budget, and quality looks like for the project. All right, so this is a first concept that we're going to talk about for today's class. And since we're trying to flip the classroom right now with short recordings of videos of lectures, and I will try to group different components into different video that you will be able to see through the Blackboard web page. All right, and what I expect you as or the whole class to do for this week's class is pretty much review all the different lecture recordings. All right, and I sometimes participate in the discussion related to this week's course materials. And of course, there's another important thing that we need to do by the end of today's class, which is have a very quick review for the first coming midterm exams. All right, and we'll have a little bit discussion on midterm exam as we finish today's lecture. So as a common sense, the metrics are used for managers to get an accurate, timely, non-ambiguous measures to assess progress, identify issues, and monitor completion. And of course, it can also provide detailed information, which you can using an analytical approach, using those analytical measures to isolate the cause of problems. Okay, so if we're looking at the previous categories of three different types of metrics, and as you can see, the management type of metrics is going to fall into more the executive level, and analytical measures will be actually falling into more project level. Some of the metrics will actually help you to have a good understanding or assessment of where you are in the current state, and some of other metrics will help you to have an early identification of process that has been broken down. And the third type of metrics will help you to have an advanced warning of trouble ahead. Okay, as we move forward with the earned value management techniques within the next couple weeks, probably after our midterm exam, we're actually going to have a good discussion in terms of what earned value metrics will help us to understand our current progress, our early identification of process that might have broken down, as well as some advanced warning for trouble ahead. Taking some different examples on this slide, and if we're looking at what happens between Facebook and WhatsApp, as well as what happens between Netflix and Comcast over the past 2 years, and this will be a very good demonstration for why metrics matters and what are different metrics that company or organizations are looking at. So what happens to Facebook and WhatsApp? Back in late 2013, and actually Facebook spent billions of dollars and purchased WhatsApp. And for some of you who has been using WhatsApp, and you might already get familiar to this concept where you pay a very cheap price, probably $1 or even $2 per year, and then through the subscription you can actually using WhatsApp to send messages global wise, right? So, which was interesting concepts, and it got a lot of popularity, especially in some of our developing countries. And Facebook is a different animal, right? And Facebook is actually mainly targeted at younger generations, where you can post pictures, post updates, and get together with friends on the internet. And by the time when Facebook was evaluating its market share or its consumer basis, it figured that the majority of the users were coming from developing countries, and actually a very few portion of the users were actually coming from developing countries. So they take the shortcut where they want to take a share of the existing consumer base in developing country by purchase WhatsApp. It's not necessarily the functionality, which is $1 and annual subscription and send text message global-wise, but they want to actually get access to the established consumer base for WhatsApp through this merger or acquisition. Okay, so in this scenario, what matters, or all the metrics that they're trying to evaluate for this acquisition, for this business, was more dealing with the consumer base, right? Okay, so for the next one, Netflix and Comcast. If you have been streaming videos on the internet, and what you can experience if for a household, if someone is streaming videos, then the whole speed for the other person is getting slowed down, right? Because the caps for their data transfer is pretty much fixed. For instance, I have a subscription through Comcast, and my up limits for my data download is around 40 megabytes. And if I'm streaming tremendously over the time, then pretty much I'm going to take all the data from my speed. And then my wife, who's browsing the internet, will actually may experience slowdown. And that is what happens to Netflix, where their subscription through Netflix will allow you to streaming videos, streaming movies, films, and they have the other consumers who are not Netflix subscribers actually complaining that when they are actually sharing internet with neighbors or through the neighborhood, they actually this experience is slow because of the subscription who's trying to download videos or movies from Netflix. And what Netflix was trying to did to actually address its issues was actually pay Comcast a premium so that Comcast can actually optimize the distribution of the data through the internet cable in such a way that the slowdown of the internet because of the streaming of the videos can be actually avoided, or actually can at least to be a little bit more alleviated. Okay, so that was one of the deals that Netflix settled with Comcast. In this scenario, what was the metrics? If you're looking at the data by itself, they actually were trying to dealing with the distribution of the data through different household. Whether you have subscription with Netflix or not, you should have equal access to the internet. So taking these two different business cases, if you're looking at on the left hand side about how metrics is defined, the first one, it got to involve the business, right? And so the business would determine exactly what is the goals, what we're trying to deal with, and so because of that, you can actually have an agreement on the objectives, and then you can come up with the actual measurements, and based on the measurements, then you know exactly what you need to do in order to improve the measurements, so that you can reach your business objectives, so that you can achieve your goals, so that you can actually improve the business operations.